Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will show you how to make a hearty and comforting roasted pumpkin soup with lentils. I will also show you how to make use of the seeds by roasting them. And I just love the fact that we're not wasting any part of the pumpkin and we got both a meal and a snack out of it. So let's get cooking. I like to start by soaking the lentils, usually for 30 minutes. And you won't need them yet, so by the time you actually need them, they will be ready to use. The reason why I soak the lentils is because I find that they cook quicker and they get easier to digest. However, you can totally skip this step if you don't feel like soaking them. Next, you want to preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. I washed the outside of the pumpkin before cutting the top off. I kind of struggled to cut through it, so if you're not strong enough, ask for help. Once I had cut a circle around the entire top, I found that it was easier to push it out with the knife. When you remove the top, make sure to reserve the seeds and place them in a separate bowl so we can roast them later. Then you want to cut the pumpkin in half. With a spoon, scoop out the flesh or pulp, whatever you want to call it, and add the rest of the seeds to the bowl. You want to get rid of as much pulp as possible, but for now I'm just throwing everything into the bowl and we can take care of that later. You don't actually need to peel the pumpkin if you're using the same kind as me, but I personally chose to do it, so I guess that's the only waste. Then cut the pumpkin halves into cubes. I actually found that it was much easier to cut through it once I had peeled it. Place the cubes on a baking tray. This is about 900 grams. Then cut an onion into wedges and add to the tray. You can use a red or yellow onion. Also add 3 to 4 peeled garlic cloves. Season everything with dried thyme and black pepper. And you can find all the measurements and instructions in the full recipe on my blog. The link is in the description box. You can add avocado oil if you want. I think it works fine without it, but then you just want to combine everything and spread it out evenly so that everything cooks evenly. Then roast it in the oven for about 35 minutes or until the pumpkin is soft. While that's in the oven, add 3 to 4 cups of water to a pot. How much you add depends on how thick you want the soup to be. Also add in herb salt or veggie stock powder and then bring it to a simmer. Then drain the water from the lentils and rinse them. Even if you don't soak them, you want to rinse them before adding them to the pot. Let the lentils simmer covered on medium heat for about 10 to 15 minutes or until they are soft. Then turn off the heat and let them sit covered. And you want to let them sit until the roasted vegetables are done, but obviously if the roasted vegetables are done the same time as the lentils, you can just skip to the next step after that. But while the lentils are cooking and the vegetables are still in the oven, you can start removing the seeds from the pulp as much as you can. By the time I was done, it looked like this. I also squeezed out the juice from half a lemon. Then rinse the seeds thoroughly to get rid of more pulp. It's actually easier to use your hand rather than the spoon when rinsing, and I did that off camera because I didn't want to have messy hands and then touch the camera. once that was done, it looked like this. Transfer them to a clean bowl and add some sea salt. You can add other spices as well, but I like them plain with salt. And then you can set the seeds aside and continue with the soup. So carefully transfer the roasted vegetables to the pot. And yeah, you really want to be careful because you don't want to splash yourself with really hot water. Then use a hand mixer and blend the soup until smooth. If you don't have a hand mixer, you can transfer everything to a blender. But if you're using a plastic blender, I recommend that you let the soup cool a bit beforehand. Then put the heat back on and let it simmer for about 5 minutes to combine all of the flavors. And after 5 minutes, you want to add the lemon juice. Then do a taste test and see if it needs more salt, and then salt and pepper to taste. You can top the soup with either pumpkin seeds, roasted chickpeas, or kale chips, or any topping you want. I used pumpkin seeds from the pantry because I was too stressed when I was filming to already have the roasted seeds ready. Also serve it with some whole wheat bread, and trust me, I had a bigger piece than you can see in the clip. This was just for show. Let's continue with the seeds. Add them to a baking tray lined with parchment paper and make sure they aren't sticking together. Then roast them in the oven at 175 degrees Celsius for 20 to 30 minutes. You know they are done when they are slightly golden. Once they're done, let them cool for at least 5 minutes. Once they've cooled down a bit, transfer the seeds to an airtight container and use as a soup topping or have them as a snack. These seeds contain zinc, iron, and magnesium, and of course healthy fats and fiber. So they are definitely a good snack. And that's it for this video. I hope you liked it and found these recipes useful. Don't forget to leave a like because that really helps me out, and subscribe for more healthy food videos.